guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today on my channel, I'm going to be discussing a long-awaited video, and this is a video all about my Kybella treatment. If you are not aware of what a Kybella treatment is, it is actually a treatment that is injected under the chin, kind of in your double chin area. So if I pull mine forward like this, my treatment's already done. I will be showing you before and afters as well throughout this, but it is actually a treatment that will help get rid of the double chin area or the kind of turkey neck area. And it is an injectable product that goes in and it actually dissolves the fat cells under your neck. Now, I am genetically predisposed to having that additional skin there. It runs in my family. It is genetics. However, it will only remove the fat inside. It will not remove the extra skin. So be aware of that portion. Now, I did go through 4 rounds of Kybella and I started them in January of 2019. However, the problem was typically you do this every, I think it's 6 to 8 weeks. However, my problem is I should have been done around summertime, but with the pandemic that hit, the second and third round got backed out and I wasn't able to start the second and third round until it was closer to, I want to say, the middle of summer, and then I continued on from there. The location that I do have this done at also is in Maryland at my other home. So I was only able to get the treatments done when I was actually in that area. So that also put more space in between it. Now, each of these treatments does range in pricing. It is fairly pricey. I would say anywhere from about $1,200 up to $2,000 depending on where you are. I will say as well, I am not a doctor. I'm just telling you about my experiences, but I would suggest doing your research, making sure you're aware of who is doing the injectables into you and that they know what they're doing. Make sure they are a doctor. This is not something that should be done by a nurse. Where I go, a doctor does it. So that just seems to make sense to me. Now, I do have my other injectables, like my fillers and my Botox, done by a nurse. However, for something like this, it is a round of a ton of shots going all in through your neck. They actually have to put a kind of like a fake tattoo on your neck, so it shows them exactly where they're going to be placing this. It is a ton of little shots. You can get numbed or you don't have to. My first round, I was numbed because we weren't sure how I was going to feel with it. After that, I didn't bother. I have a crazy high tolerance for pain, guys, so be aware of that part as well. I didn't even find it uncomfortable. The only part that was uncomfortable was after it goes in, it kind of gives you a little bit of a weird feeling for a couple minutes. Now, I am going to take you through this process with me. I do have a full videotape of my first round of them. And my first round, I go through and show you pretty much day by day the process. You look like a bullfrog for a couple of days, so be aware of that. It is something that you either will be bothered by or you won't. The first round, I was a little bit, because I wasn't sure what was happening, and I was uncomfortable. It was very swollen and very full. And I was like, oh gosh, is everybody staring at me? Nobody noticed, like nobody sees. And realistically, when you were looking at me dead on, the first couple days you saw it, but after that you didn't notice. It was only if I was sideways. If I was sideways, it was kind of like my chin went from here straight down. But it felt very puffy and very strange. But I just kind of wore a sweater or something, or a turtleneck. I started in the winter, keep that in mind. But I am so glad I did this. Another key thing about Kybella that I want to make sure you're aware of is these treatments are not like Botox or filler, where Botox will last you 3 months, filler can last you up to a year. This is something that actually it eats away at the fat cells, so they actually are not supposed to return. Now, again, keep in mind, every single person is different. And also, if you then gain weight, that is also going to be something that plays into that as well. So first, let's jump in and I'm going to show you my first set of treatments and my thoughts right after for the first week. Home from having the Kybella done. I'm swollen, you can see. We did the injections. It's a little numb still. but not uncomfortable. It was the easiest way to explain it was it was a little stinging going in, and then it kind of tingled afterwards, but nothing uncomfortable. They did numb me beforehand, but this is what we look like 1 hour after. All right, guys, I wanted to take a second and show you guys what it looks like the first morning after. I was swollen last night. From the front, you can notice it, but when you turn to the side is when you really notice it. Can you see all that swelling right through there? They say you look like a bullfrog. That is the best description ever. The swelling will go down, but from this angle, it doesn't really look, I mean, it looks slightly off, but it doesn't look horrible. It's when you turn to the side that it looks funny. So the swelling will go down throughout the next week or so, but this is what we look like right now. I just wanted to show you day one right after what we look like. We are now at, let me think how many days. So I had it done Thursday, Friday, today's Saturday, and this is what my neck looks like. Again, still from the side, very bullfrog look. From the front, it can look bullfrogish, but more from down below than straight on. I will say I have a few bruises. You can see I've got about 3 right there and 2 right here, but I have makeup on, so it's not super noticeable. But I don't mind it. It's not something that's like black and blue. It's just like little dots that kind of look like I had a breakout in my skin, if that makes sense. So this is where we're looking at now. All right, guys, we are at Sunday, which is, I had it done Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, technically day 4, but day 3. Full days, this is what we look like. I just got out of the shower. Still swollen, but it's not uncomfortable. The only way I can explain it is it feels almost slightly numb, like I have a numbing cream on it still, but it's just all of the product kind of working inside. I have no other makeup on, and I wanted to do a close-up and show you the bruises because yesterday I had makeup on, today I have nothing on, so I'm gonna zoom in and show you this real quick. All right, so this is a close-up. These are the bruises I'm talking about. That is it, guys. I mean, these are the only ones right here. I'm not seeing any on this side. Not seeing any over here. And just to give you a close-up of what it looks like. Forward. Good morning. Just want to show you my chin. I feel like it's mostly swollen through here now. So this is what we look like. My skin is having some breakouts, so apologize for that, but this is what we look like. And even if I go like this, it's a little bit, you know what I mean? But nobody walks around like that. All right, we are at exactly the 1 week mark. I didn't jump on after that last day because it really hadn't changed that much. I will show you my side profile. This is what we look like. Slightly swollen right through here. But to be quite honest with you, to me, it looks kind of like it used to, but this is where we're at right now. During this week, I will say, as some of it went down, I did end up with a bruise. You can see a little bit right here of yellow that's kind of fading, a little bit of a bruise here, and then those 2 dots that I had shown you already there. I didn't realize that there was a bruise there until after it was going away and turned yellow. It never got like blue or green. But yeah, so during this previous week, I will mention that as it kind of was eating away at the fat cells, essentially is what it does. It felt a little numb, kind of like I have a numbing cream on in through this area. And I had a day or 2 where it got a little warm under here. Not anything uncomfortable, not like an infection, just a little bit warm as it's actually working. But I wanted to jump on at the 1 week mark and show you where we're at. All right, guys, we are at the 2 week mark for Kybella. I wanted to show you guys, I'll try and close up, what it looks like from the side, from the front, and from the other side right now. This is just the point where the swelling should have gone down, which to me looks like it does. I mean, if I go like this, it still looks bad, but I mean, who walks around like this? You know what I mean? So this is where we're at. I just wanted to check in and show you kind of where we're at. It's feeling good. I'm excited to see the results. So 2 weeks from now, I go back for another round and I'll keep you guys updated. So that is after round 1 is completely complete. That was my thoughts day by day. And my first thought was, oh, I should do this every time. And then I got into the second one and I realized it pretty much goes by exactly the same way, same everything. Nothing changed from one to the other than the results I was seeing each time.
Right, guys, we are in for the final round of Kybella. Today is the first day, so I'm showing you just what you can see here. I will be doing before and after photos, but where we're at now.
So before we get too far, I do want to show you my before and after photos so you can have an idea of what this looks like now that I have done all 4 of my rounds. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit that we touched up with afterwards. Then after my 4th round of Kybella, I did go back for a consultation so we could discuss where I was at and what our thoughts were on my jawline, how it looked. Did it look more defined? Did it look less kind of double chin from the side or less puffy from the side? And I was very, very happy with the results. The only thing I will say is I felt like, because I do still have skin here, okay? If I go like this, I mean, you can still see it. And from certain, like if you're down below and you're looking up, you can notice it. It's not anything anyone else would notice. I myself can see it. And keep in mind, I did this for myself. I didn't do this for anyone else. It's just something that I wanted to do. So the only thing I noticed was my chin kind of receded into that. So with that, we had a discussion about ways to kind of also still accentuate my jawline and keep it kind of not receding into that neckline. So after that, I did then go in, and the last part of all of this is I did go in to my nurse. We had a discussion and we added filler. We added filler in my chin, so it actually helps this protrude out a little bit more, so it makes it so it's less noticeable through here. And then we added a little bit back in through here, which gives me a little bit more. I don't have a heart-shaped face. I truly typically have a oblong face. But this gives me a little bit more of that projection down through the chin, less vision of this, and more pull. Both it helps with the jawline and the skin underneath to add that filler there, and it kind of lifts it up and in. And so I am loving my results. Now the filler is something I will have to go back for about once a year to touch up, and that is completely fine with me. The Kybella results themselves were absolutely amazing. I love it. You can see the before and after. It is definitely something, again, that to the normal person just walking down the street, they wouldn't have noticed it. But it was something that always bothered me, and I wasn't uncomfortable with it, but it was something that I always thought about having fixed. So when I had the ability to do this, I definitely was like, I want to try this. It was definitely a must-have for me, and I'm so glad that I did this and I took that step. Now, another thing I do want to mention, a part of this that we did in addition to that, is my doctor had heard of a process which was actually putting Botox in through your neck and then in through some of the lines, because I do have some fine lines in through here, and I have some visible pores and things like that. And she had heard about this, and it was completely something that she had researched and was not something that they particularly offer, but she wanted to try it out. And I was like, I'm in, I'll give it a try. You want to try it on me? Sure. So we did go through and do this. Now I will say, and she and I both discussed this, it was not something that I noticed a difference on. I didn't notice a reduction of any of the fine lines through here, and I didn't notice anything doing any pulling or tightening through here. I found that the filler did a better job than the Botox did. So if any of you are considering that, I wanted to give you that information as well. Now, where I have my procedures done is a place in Maryland, and it is called Belcara Health. I have been going to them for over 10 years now. It started out with my Botox and my peels and things like that, but I go to them for everything. So if you are in the Maryland, Virginia, DC area and you are looking for someone, this is somewhere that I highly, highly, highly suggest. If you are not in those areas, please make sure you do your research and you are aware of where you are going, and you know someone that has gone there, you know someone you trust that can give you a good recommendation. Make sure you do your research. That is key. Don't go by price. Go by where has a good reputation for having solid results and actually having consultations and discussions with you, not just going in to do a process. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video all about my Kybella treatment over the last year. If you have any questions whatsoever about this, please let me know down below. And if you are new around here, I would love if you click that subscribe button and followed along here. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching and sticking with me. Have a great day.